So this is the one issue with like doing the multiple stream thing. Sometimes all of the chat endpoints do not link up into the one chat box. So I have to open up multiple chat things.
I know there's one I've seen as of late called like not Streamlabs, Duck. It was not Streamlabs. It was something else.
I think I see what you. Is their mascot like a goose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that do something more? I've seen more and more people use that.
I haven't taken a full look at it just yet, but it's on my list to check out.
Gotcha.
Can you hear us? Let me make sure the viewers and listeners can at least hear us.
Right. It ain't Photoshop, is what I have to do.
Okay, I'm just gonna have to test out on the laptop to get some feedback just for a bit.
Cool.
Oh no, it says something on my end. Okay. Give us a second.
Can't tell, that's so close. Negative 457.
I'm just.
Okay.
Test.
Yep, can hear you. Let's see if the viewers can get something.
Okay, we're good. Oh, okay, yeah. Guy in the chat says he was just giving us a hard time. Just making sure. Okay. So that's the issue again with doing something like this for the first time in a long time, where we moved the podcast to being off the air or off live, and then we're back to doing a special like today. We have Pro Leader music playing in the background, and I guess since we're gonna get started shortly, let's go ahead and whip out the official intro to After Dark's podcast episode as soon as I find the right window. Boop boop. Let's go with, oh god, I lost it. Oh, there it is. Okay, let me change the volume. And to once quote a great actor and character, here we go.
That's essentially how I feel about life. Full of loneliness and misery and suffering and unhappiness. And it's all over much too quickly. The question is, have I learned anything about life?
Hello, everybody. That is our official introduction with Pro Leader's Destiny playing And after the intro to that song, we jump in as usual, as always. If you've not heard our podcast, this is S01E15 After Dark. You can find it on almost any platform that has podcasts, be it Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and almost anything else. If you have a platform and you don't see us on it, let us know by tweeting at us at EOZ After Dark or emailing us afterdark@essencezen.org. Oh my goodness, let's switch this video cam over to our beautiful faces. Even though you guys might find the audio and visual, for my voice at least, might be slightly out of sync due to some jerry-rigging on my end. But yes, if you've only been watching this channel for a long time, it's probably been a good, 2 months since you've seen my beautiful mug? Hi. I'm joined here as always with my studious co-host, the man with the plan, the man with the hour. You probably haven't seen his face in his mug in quite a long time as well. The father of all gods of the Greek pantheon. I don't know, I can't probably back that up. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. I don't know, maybe one. Lewis, that Mexican with the K, Sandoval. How you doing, Lewis?
Yo, good evening, everybody. It's been pretty snazzy lately.
Snazzy like Snazzy Labs?
I actually don't know who they are, but I'll say yeah.
Snazzy is a YouTuber in the same vein or in the same group as Marquez, MKBHD, and the other, even Linus, I would say. He did something really, he modded a MacBook Pro, not a MacBook, a Mac Pro, excuse me, to basically allow him to take the shell off without getting stopped by the power cord. So basically, he just cut like a piece of metal off of the back of the Mac Pro, and people cringed because again, you're cutting the casing of a very expensive device. But when you're Snazzy, you have that kind of pull, or talent, or something.
Learn something new.
Yeah. So I hope everyone is doing well. Again, if I don't catch your chat messages on time, that's my apologies. I have like 32 different windows open up on my rig for this particular special broadcast. And 3 of those are different chat boxes because we're streaming to 3 different chat platforms. Also, Lewis, I love the headset, man. Those look so comfortable.
They are. They're just the HyperXs. I don't know if you could see that from here.
Yeah.
Not sponsored, but if you want to throw some money.
HyperX, if you want to, toss something our way, by all means. Though, to be fair, I am rocking Sennheisers. So Sennheiser, if you want to toss some stuff our way, we are open, to all forms of sponsorship. And I will say, it's kind of weird seeing us like on video more often because everyone talks about quarantine hair and quarantine beard, but dude, you look pretty clean. Like you got like the suaveness going on. I haven't had a fresh weed twist. I haven't shaved. I got like Wolfman, homeless, Uncle Rich beard going on.
Thank you. Actually, like last month. That's probably why.
So you're staying up on the game. That's I commend you for that.
If you saw me like last month or something, then it'd be a whole different conversation.
Also, I'm looking at the chat now. I see Dathan, man, dude, it's been so long. I hope you're doing well. He says, I sound so different now. Got your grown man voice. Your audio is clear. Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves with handsome, shameless plugs. Absolutely. That's what we do. Shout out to Dathan, man. He's known me since I was a wee lad on the Scottish Isles. I grew up with Chef Gordon. People don't know Chef Gordon's actually oh crap. Is he Scottish or is he he's Irish? No.
That's Gordon. Ramsay?
Yes.
Ramsay. Okay.
No, he's Scottish, right?
British. Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland.
People think he's a Brit. People think he's a European from like London or he's Scottish. It's just a different dialect of Scottish accent. But
it says he moved, but not sure when he moved. So
yeah.
He's got 5 kids. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude, Gordon gets. Let me not say something that might be a bit
Went
insensitive.
to town.
Let me. I don't. I'm trying to make it easier for the string to not have such noisy visuals, but I can't. I'm just gonna go with the red room for a minute. That just. We'll go with that. Makes it seem like we're in a studio booth, which we kind of are because quarantine.
Quarantine.
So again, I hope quarantine life is treating everyone well. What we have on the docket for today is we don't have an actual document for the show notes. Currently, I will have one made for when this goes out on our normal podcast platforms like Spotify and etc. But we're basically going to talk about the PS5 Future of Gaming event. It's going to be gonna be gonna be cool. So like Lewis, you caught the event live too, right? Because we were
I did.
messaging each other.
I did. I think I missed that first game that they threw out there. I think it was the Spider-Man one, the Miles Morales. I caught
Oh
the
yeah.
end like credits of that. So that's the only one I missed, and actually that I haven't gone back and rewatched it, so I'll need to. So that'll be like the only one I can't
What,
comment on.
to help you out in this regard, let me
Hmm.
do this, and then let me do. Oh, I don't have one of just the. Oh crap. This is how you know we're out of practice. Video only. Rest is Shackleford.
Well, why are you getting that up? So PS5, the whole ramp up to it. Let's talk the release. What'd you think about the release video? You think it was good? Did you like the way they did it? First thoughts on that.
Okay, so the way they did it, right, with like the build up with the weird molecules, the
Yeah.
orbs, and I kind of dug it. It felt like I was watching the trailer for like a superhero movie, like a X-Men mutagen or some type of outbreak of stuff. But I mean, you know, it is what it is. Let me actually, if I
I heard something come up. I don't see anything yet.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, that's kind of cool.
But
That's neat. Okay, I'm looking at Discord stuff.
okay.
It's awesome. Um, Let me go back to the cams. Um,
I
when
have to click on watch stream. I see.
yeah, okay. When they did the unveiling, the lead up to it, it felt very PlayStation like. I'm not sure if people remember back in like the PS2 days, PS3 days, they had this very suave kind of fluid. If I remember correctly, I could be completely wrong and misremembering in my old age. The reveals for those consoles, and it felt very similar, just much more refined, much more unique, and with the actual reveal to it to the console itself, to me it looks nice. It's weird, but it looks nice, and I think the aesthetic to the design language fits the reveal of all the weird orbs and the wave and excitement of materials going. I
I
like it.
liked
I
it. It
give it
was
a B. You know, B plus.
okay. I haven't
You?
seen the previous releases, but yeah, I enjoyed it. When I was seeing all those dots, I'm like, man, how many days does this take to render? That's a lot of particles. That was my thought.
It Sony recalled the baby doll for the PS3, I believe. Did they ever clear up the confusion, Shane? PS2 was the best. You do like, oh man, like actually I think PS2 just lost its whatchamacallit, title for like the best selling console for the modern era. I think the Switch beat it. Oh, or no, I could be wrong. Maybe PS2 is still number one. But everything was right for PS2. Everything, the reveal, the lead up, the console itself, the impact on the gaming industry. PS2 dominated at almost every single thing. I do not know about the recall for the baby doll for PS3. I don't remember that. Then again, you know, my old age is getting up there. Nathan, your old age is getting up there as well.
Uh, let's see. What about uh, any of the games before we get into the actual console itself? Any games that you're excited for that they announced?
Yeah. So like off the bat, if you look at what I'm sharing now, this is like the Spider-Man bit, dude. This completely shook me. I'm not even done playing Spider-Man on PS4 yet, but this was just so good. It's so short, but I'm such a big Miles Morales fan. This slew me. And I'm playing without any sound to avoid. You know what? Screw copyright. It'll be okay. This belongs to Sony. They can take the ad money if they choose to.
Give up.
Yeah.
We're enhancing and we're adding stuff to it. So you know.
He was right.
Who's the Spider-Man and the other one that they released?
Now it's your
I want to say like 2 years ago, a year ago now.
Be a hero.
Peter
2
Parker.
years ago. Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Okay. How's that one? How's the gameplay of that one? I've heard it's pretty good. I've just yet to play it.
It is like there's a lot of smaller bits that seems kind of weird, but the combat is very Batman Arkham, so it works. It's a tried and true formula. But the best part of it is just swinging through the city. It is so fluid, so real. You feel like Spider-Man.
Nice. Yeah, it actually looks. I'd play that. All right.
Miles Morales. And so this is so cool.
Capture on PS5.
Yeah, and like they capture a lot of the elements of Miles Morales' Spider-Man so well, because a lot of people don't know that he actually has abilities that Parker doesn't, such as the Venom Strike, the lightning you saw him doing when he touched the dude's face, and in the beginning, that's an actual ability that he has that Parker does not. The invisibility cloaking, he has it, Parker does not. But yeah, I'm so down. I do feel like it's gonna basically be Spider-Man for PS4 with some minor changes, and of course a different plot, which is fine. That's like most sequels nowadays, right?
Yeah.
It's cool. The PS3 has a naked baby doll for the reveal. I do remember that that being a controversy, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it? Sorry, again, different chats and stuff and whatnot.
No worries. Yeah, I don't think I was there for that one. I don't think I was looking at
Consoles.
unveilings
Yeah.
at that time.
But yeah, man, it's out there. Oh, wait, is that? Oh, okay. Oh, I keep getting confused with how I got the camera set. I was like, why is my black screen lighting up green? But I remember.
I'd say they also announced Ratchet and Clank, that new one. I haven't played Ratchet and Clank, but
Like
I'll
ever?
pick that one up. No, never.
Dude,
That
it's
looked interesting.
a
okay.
classic. Yeah, you gotta play the. There's like 6 of them now, I think.
I know there's a few. There's like one on each PlayStation, because you know it's like their thing basically. Gran Turismo, I didn't care much for. I'm just not. If I'm gonna play a racing game, I kind of just like Forza. That's just my thing.
Yeah.
Batting on the other side. Returnal, that was one that kind of piqued my interest a bit. Like, okay, so you gotta kind of escape death, sort of thing. It's that one where, to refresh your memory, if you don't remember, the one where you die and then you come back and you repeat the same story over and over again.
Yeah, on the weird alien planet that seems to be infecting
Right.
her with something.
And it changes or something each time.
Yeah, that's actually the. To speak on that just for a little bit. Do you know like games that are considered roguelikes?
Like, I don't know. That's the first time I've heard a game
So-
go that way.
Roguelikes are essentially you start the game, you do a run, you get as far as you can, you die, you start back over. And like some things can be different, like you get different weapons, meet different enemies. The first boss you run to might be one of the different bosses in an 80 boss gauntlet, that kind of thing. It's basically all about trying to get the furthest with things constantly shifting. One of the greatest roguelikes, in my opinion, has been a game called Rogue Castle, I think. I don't know. But this is like a roguelike done with the next evolutionary step. Also, for those watching and potentially listening, what I'm showcasing in the background now is Ratchet and Clank. Dimensional rifts? Rifts and dimension? Rifts?
Apart.
Something?
Ratchet and Clank ripped apart. Yeah.
Rift apart. Yeah, okay. Which is...
Apart.
I'm surprised about the subtitle. Ratchet and Clank has always had a comical subtitle, like "Up Your Arsenal," and I forget the other ones, but they're just as innuendo based. But I digress. But Returnal looks like the next jump into a lot of cool roguelike situations, and I am just here for it. I am here for it. I love it.
And the one that got me, I don't know if it got you, but was Horizon. I absolutely loved the first game. It was just such beautiful graphics, great story. Like I like the whole world of it all, the whole robotic, and then kind of like you're kind of recovering old technology. I just loved it. So when I saw there's a sequel for that, I was all over that day, and I was like, okay, that's the game I'm getting. That's the first game I'm playing on PS5.
So wait, you haven't finished the first one though, right?
Right, how do you finish the first?
I mean,
I loved it that much.
now you have incentive to though. You know, it's
Right.
that kind of thing.
And I'm like, okay, now I gotta hurry up and finish it so I can like understand the second one now.
I don't know. I've yet to pick it up. It's on my list too, especially now. It came out for PC like 3 or 4 days ago. So now I'm fighting like, do I buy it for cheap on PS4, or do I buy it full price on my preferred console or my preferred platform? It's difficult. It's difficult.
Decisions. Well, the price drop now that the PS5 has been announced for PS4. That is, you know.
Probably not for it because they didn't give a date for it to come. Oh no, yes it did. It's this holiday, isn't it?
Holiday 2020, so
Yeah.
somewhere within the month there. I'm hoping they give us a price by November, because that's when a lot of people start doing Black Friday shopping and whatnot. And if you don't have money set aside for it, then you might not have money for that particular gift that you want to get your significant other, your son or your daughter, whatever. So I just feel like they should announce it like sometime November, before preferably. But it seems like Xbox and Microsoft and Sony are kind of like, no, you release it first. No, you release it first. Like, just gonna undercut each other by like $20 or $100. Who knows?
Yeah. So in the chat we got Dathan that points out and he quote and I quote, "I hate to be this guy, but the lineup is very diverse lineup for lineup far as representation goes." And I kind of agree. And this is the one thing I do like about Sony, because also Dathan says to your point, Xbox or Microsoft and Sony are playing chicken. But to the diverse lineup, Sony has always been that company that kind of does that with their gaming environment. They kind of push forth in the front without too heavy of a. They're not doing it chasing clout, as the kids say, but they tend to have more of the, hey, we have a game that has like a female protagonist. Hey, we have a game that has a Middle Eastern protagonist. Hey, we have a game that has a black female protagonist. They kind of put that all in the forefront without being heavy-handed with it, and because it's just more like, this is a good game that just kind of came by. We picked it up, and we're publishing it, and we're pushing it out on our platform. It's going to be good. Enjoy it. It just so happens to kind of fit what a lot of people want in terms of representation. What was the drama game that was all about like weird powers for like time skipping? Something is strange days. Life is Strange.
I know what you're talking about. Life is Strange.
Yes, I believe that was pushed heavily with like through Sony, and that has like a lot of LGBT, female, and other types of diverse representation included, without it being heavily, handed to you via the marketing. It kind of that was a point you got to in the when you played the game, not any time before. Same thing with DLC for Last of Us 1. Find out Ellie is wait, is she bisexual or is she lesbian? I forget. Essentially, she falls in the category of LGBT, and of course, it wasn't marketed. It wasn't heavy-handed. It just, you played the DLC, story was going through. Oh, look, it's just out there. Okay, and I like that fluid approach to it, because it shows you how they're not trying to fit a quota. It just good writing, and it just happens to be in there, and that's the kind of writing I support. Yeah, to quote Dathan, they did it without pandering. There you go. Unlike going to a public video or something where you're wearing kente cloth. I'm sorry. Not to get political. I don't know if you know what I'm referring to or not, Lewis, but
No, I don't. I do not.
let's just say there's a political party that tried to come out in support of protests, and they came out on the video. They kneeled and they all had kente cloth. I forgot the terms for it. Basically, the African like they look like scarves, but kente cloths around their neck, and people were just like, "You're pandering so hard right now, pandering so hard."
Oh, I know what you're referring to now. I didn't know what a kente cloth was. I looked it up. I'm like, okay, I know.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're referring to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not. You don't need to go that far. Okay.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. Anyway.
Back to Sony. Go for it.
Let's see. The games. Okay, so actually, the actual console. It was unveiled. You saw shape. You saw the controller. That was actually what was released earlier. What are your thoughts? Form factor, because we don't know any specs yet. We just kind of got blurbs from Sony.
Oh man,
Sony.
I gotta say, I loved the design. It struck me hard, and I went, okay, this is different. But I look at it and I look at the Xbox Series X and I go like, it looks like both companies took some inspiration from different PC cases. The PS5 to me looks like it has the design language fitted in from Alienware, whereas the Xbox Series X looks like it has design language fitted in by like NZXT or is it NXZT? I think it's NZXT or Cooler Master or Corsair. And I'm just like, okay, this is cool, but definitely PS5 is going the more artistic, statuesque, approach.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw it and I was like, okay. It's different. I don't hate it, but I kind of want to like see more angles of it.
Yeah.
And then I look at the Xbox and I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I like that. I like the PlayStation better. I think you're too kind with the Xbox thing. I don't know. I think it's just a box with just a little fan on top. That I heard is it even a light? I don't even think it's a light. I think it's just a spinning fan with like a green thing on top. On anything?
Yeah, I think there is a LED light in the top.
There's an LED light.
It glows like an ambient green, if I'm not mistaken. I think.
Okay. Just like if I had to compare it to, I like the design language of the PS5 better, even though it's kind of like iffy for me. But I agree, it does. Once you said Alienware, I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's to a T. That's kind of where they went with that Alienware. They got those fins.
Yeah.
I think is what it is. Go ahead.
I gotta ask you, do you prefer the PS5 with the CD drive or without digital only, where you get like the far more symmetric shape?
Glad you asked. Let me share my screen. So, here we go. Plop the screen. Blam. Let me know if you can see it.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, to what you're saying, I prefer the digital only version because it's so symmetrical. But the way I do console gaming is I like to buy used games, like to play them, like to sell them back to people. Because I just like trying it out, swapping different things out, getting things on sale, and not have to worry about, I guess, having enough storage space waiting for it to download. Even though I still gotta wait for updates to download, right? But okay, so let me show you the other part I was trying to do. So I superimposed them, and like, yes, it's definitely a thing. Okay, so if you look at the middle one only, these are just the two pictures superimposed on top of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you could tell, but the disk drive one ends like right here, where the cursor is, like right here.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like an extra, I want to say maybe 1.5, 2 inches just for the disk drive, and it just looks blocky and Eh, then again, am I really gonna be looking at it when it's just in my media center, just kind of stuck in there? Because I'm probably not gonna put it standing up. It's gonna be
See,
on its side.
I'm with you on like noticing that because it's when you look at it, you can clearly tell there's more chunk at the bottom right for
Yeah.
that area. And at first, just visually speaking, I was all for the 100% digital, like just all in because like it's far more symmetric, it's far more curvy with the presentation. You know, it's very sensual. But then I kept looking at the CD drive and I kept looking at like how the shape differs. And I was like looking at it standing up, then I envisioned it sideways, landscape style. And I kind of think that the asymmetric design with the CD drive might make it look a little bit better just because it looks more alien.
Looks more alien.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be symmetric. It's like I'm so confident. And this is design Zane speaking now. I'm so confident. I don't have to be symmetrical. I don't have to conform to your normalcy, your weirdness of not being weird. I can be me.
I could dig that. Let's see if I flip it on its side here and zoom out a bit. Try to envision that. Just sitting in your media center, because that's probably how it's gonna be with this tray facing up, right? I guess as long as it fits, right? It's not that.
Actually, do the other side way with the CD drive being face down.
The C drive being face down.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
on the bottom.
All right.
Because I think you're right. Just by like how you would put the CD in, I'm pretty sure the actual data side would be inward to the center of the console.
See, I can't.
Can you flip it one more time?
Okay, so that's 9 degrees. Hold on. Live coding. So this would be negative 180. Okay.
Yeah.
Quick live stream coding. No. Negative 360. In a minute, I'm just about to open up the DevTools here. Okay, hold on. I know what will solve this issue, guys. Troubleshooting in real time. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah. Because in my head, I was thinking if you put it down that way and like if you have it flat against the table, it looks like the left side would be flush against the surface, and then you would have a gap as it curved in, and then as it gets to the top is most likely to be less weighted. You would have like this weird swerve where you get like, a gap in the bottom of it, and that might also again be visually pleasing in a very abnormal way.
It'll be wobbly though. That's my thing.
Only if the weight
Depending on
isn't
how they-
distributed correctly, because
Right.
I do think the top of the fan on the far right, that tip should. Oh no, actually it doesn't. Never mind. Yeah, it would be at a slant. Never mind. I take that back.
I'm just wondering, I might have to get like a little piece of cardboard to prevent it from. As it disc spins, maybe just. I doubt it, but we've seen faulty designs before with consoles. Xbox 360.
Original PS3.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget the original PS3 that's all thick, curvy, and glossy because all they remember now is the matte black PS3. It's weird. I don't know.
Okay. But yeah, I would I'd probably buy this one and kind of just deal with that.
Yeah,
Not enough to make me get the.
this is a thing to remind people though. If the PS5 goes the same route as the PS4 and how it treats CD based drives, even though you put the CD in, you still have to download the game as if it was a digital only release. It's weird. Don't get me wrong. Like you can still use a CD on different consoles, share it, etc. But you actually won't be saving any disk space, sadly, and oddly. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh right, because it saves everything. I see what you're saying now.
It pulls it and puts it on the actual system, and I think it's to help performance, where it's not trying to constantly read to get the data of what you're playing. It just dumps it all. It's kind of like I don't know if you've seen the tools where they have like how people do emulators for old school games like the SNES, the Sega, etc. They actually have emulator consoles now where they require you to have the cartridge. You put the cartridge in the device, you boot it up, and it dumps the ROM from the cartridge onto the system. But it forces you to make sure that thing is still plugged in as a way to
Right.
like ensure you own the game. So,
Right.
but it's kind of cool because if you take the cartridge out, the game stops and goes like, "Hey, put the cartridge back in." It won't reboot your session because everything's on the system. You put the cartridge back in, it just starts right where you left off. So cool, it's brilliant. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
it's a lot different from what the Xbox does, where it makes it optional. So I mean, I guess Sony thought it was an important enough reason to have it just download on your system.
Which I gotta make a quick mention here, and kind of jumping a little early ahead in our discussion because I want to get a really big importance topic on user data and how important it is to not just one, own your data, two, know how your data is being used, but three, how companies are taking steps to protect your data, right? Microsoft gets a lot of flack for almost everything else outside of gaming. So, like, their Windows OS not having great system settings, breaking their OS via bad updates, and all that jazz. Within gaming, the world of gaming, so I give this props to the Xbox platform. They've been pretty solid in protecting your data. I don't think I can recall the last time, or if ever, like a hack happened where user data from the Xbox platform was dumped. Have you heard anything like that in like the last 10 years?
I guess having all that data from kids or whatever kind of makes you more cautious, right? No, but I have not heard of that.
You would
However,
think.
we have heard issues with Sony, with
And Nintendo.
and Nintendo. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That was that recent one.
And
So good.
speaking on the Nintendo recent hack, did you hear that they came out, I think, 4 days ago, and they stated that, yeah, you know how we said maybe like 60,000 to 80,000 people were affected by this hack? Turns out it's more like 150,000. Yeah, just so you know.
I wonder how much is. No, I guess if they hacked it, it doesn't really matter what your password is.
Yeah.
Because if they just get the database or whatever.
And to be fair,
Yeah.
they are protective in terms of saying like if you've been logging in on your Switch in the US and they see that someone tried to log in on a DS or through the web browser in Canada for whatever. I love you, Canada, just picking on you randomly. They're like, yeah, okay, no, you have to do a two-step authentication, even if you don't have 2FA set up. You have to like verify through a phone call or a text. So good on Nintendo for that level, but point still stands. They've had a lot of breaches just like Sony when it came to user data. So I don't know.
Forget PSN when that went down. The great PSN outage. How long is that out for at the end? Does anyone ever keep track of that? 2 months? A month?
I don't know.
That was quite a while.
Yeah. And it's funny because like it also especially with Sony. I love Sony. It's my favorite gaming console platform, and as well as they got some cool tech. But you and I both went to a university in Arizona where we had colleagues of ours who were involved in the great hacking of the PS3 era. Even though they basically just went, "Hey, you have a exploit in your network or in your security. Here's the exploit. Please fix it." And they went, "No." And they were like, "Okay, well, we're going to publish it in a month." They published it, and then Sony sent the NSA after them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good times.
But I think it's been a bit better since they started charging people for online.
Yeah,
They
they
make some
don't
more
at least
ambitious
store
to protect it.
passwords in plain text anymore.
That's always my prime example. Hey, don't be a Sony, don't lock that thing up. Ah, so, um, we've thrashed it around a little bit regards to their past. Let's talk more about the PS5's controller. What do you think about that particularly?
Okay, so like you brought it to my attention that it shares some design DNA, some aesthetics, some design language with the Ouya. And I didn't really notice it until until you brought it up, because to me it felt more like the bottom half was an Xbox One controller and the top half was a whole new envisioning of the PlayStation controller. But no, it looks like an amalgamation of Ouya, PS4, and Xbox One controller to me, and that's not a bad thing. If a form factor works for ergonomics, comfort, and ease of dexterity for your thumbs, fingers, and whatnot, then good. Take the design. It's okay. So I'm all for it. Granted, I gotta get it in my hands, and I have to caress
same.
that console controller. I gotta caress it. Yeah.
I like how it's a bit bigger. Actually, let me share my screen again for a second to bloop bloop share screen right. Oh man, I can't share a whole window. I can only share. Oh no, I can. Okay. Bloop bloop. All right, so let me pull up the PS4 here. PS4 controller. There's a few slight changes that they made that have been pointed out to me that I didn't realize. So, first one that I didn't realize off the bat was that the PS5 one, these things have been moved up, the analog sticks, so these no longer jut out from the bottom. Kind of pushed up. Got a little tummy tuck right there.
And I will say just right now, we do know that that's not the real PS4 controller. It's just the concept of showcasing the bottom analog sticks and the what we call the cleavage of the PS4 controller.
The cleavage. Yeah, let me actually pull up the official one. I was trying to just point that little thing out. This is I think an off-brand one. Don't exactly
is it real? I thought it was like a render mock-up. There could be a
it could be. Let me just pull up the OG one. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So Dimple's still there. Oh yeah, the other thing that I didn't realize off the bat, these aren't colorized anymore. It's kind of more flushed out, more muted is the word I'm looking for. You don't really notice that off the bat. Same right here with this bottom part. You'll realize that. Hold on. This little bottom button. It's no longer a circle. It's an actual PlayStation sign. It's more cut out. I didn't really realize that off the bat. The buttons are more outward.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just going along with, and that actually might be far more ergonomic, because when you think about how your thumbs rest, they're not at a like a cubic square thing. When you move your thumbs, they move in like a circle, like a diameter, like it's on a leash, like a dog who in the backyard they run around in a circle, not a square.
Yeah.
So if you have it kind of flank outwards, that means your thumbs can curve better and reach those buttons without having to literally move forward. It's more, you can keep it stationary and have your radius of your thumb fit that curve. That's nice. That's I like that.
Yeah, I'm thinking they probably paid a little bit more attention to ergonomics this time, because it's the original one, when you look at it, it looks a lot more square, like you mentioned, and this one's more jutted out. If you ever look at ergonomic keyboards, things are kind of like flushed out to like a direction to kind of make it more. Well, I think it's flushed inwards actually. I need to pull up an ergonomic keyboard, but what I'm trying to get at is they're not completely square and parallel, because they know people's fingers and hands aren't naturally like that.
Yeah.
So little things in design language. I can't see from this angle. Go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Like it makes me think about the oh crap. Actually, hold that thought. I really want to make this clear, because even though
you're gonna bring your
controller.
ELZ Labs, everybody. What's he gonna pull out? What's he gonna pull out of his closet?
Hold on. For watchers out there, you did not see any entertainment system in a closet in an office, but it's literally what not to do for a Steam controller.
Oh man,
Because it
it's
digs in.
yeah. That's the weirdest part for me. That was the Steam controller was the pushed in thing, and I tried it out. I'm like, you know what? For some games, this just doesn't cut it.
You know, it's purely because of the analog stick and the buttons. Like, honestly, if you hold it like a normal controller for the trackpad areas, this feels normal. Like, because you know, the way that the grip for the palm, it concaves with your thumb, and that feels fine. It's only when you're using your primary buttons and the analog is when your thumbs feel like they're stretching, and it feels like you're putting a lot of tension on the muscle. That's not comfortable here. All this
Okay.
not great. Just this, and you use this more than you use these. So
Oh yeah, true. Okay. Good,
I
good
like
point.
I like the paddles though. Paddles were on point. The best part of
Oh,
this controller. Oh my god.
yes, I do agree. I did love those extra controllers. Like, oh man, you know what? This does come in handy. I could well, what I like to do was just throw the crouch on one of the paddle ones. I thought that was more natural because it's back, crouch, lower. I don't know. That's just how my mind works.
No, I'm with you.
Ah, let's see. I wonder if I could pull up a better picture of it. But I was going to mention I don't have a PS4 controller with me right now. Just to show you that I also
Shit, I
play with
don't.
the other team. If you pay attention on the PS5 renderings, there's no gap there in the middle of the two trigger buttons between the
Oh,
bumper and the trigger. They removed that. If you look at the OG PS4, there's like a tiny little, I want to say, 2 millimeter gap, but they've completely removed that, so it's now flush. So I'm thinking maybe it'll be easier to kind of press both at the same time. I don't know. I don't exactly know why they made that change. It's a small change, but something I wanted to make note of. Actually, I could probably just play this video to get different angles. Oh, there's a release for that controller.
oh, I didn't even realize that they kind of kept the same micro material esque.
And
You know,
boom. Can you tell right there?
yeah.
Maybe not, just because it's so black. Yeah.
What you trying to say,
But yeah.
Lewis?
I just know it's not a good angle. But since it's up here, the adaptive triggers. I looked into that a little bit. What I heard is just it's got some tension.
It's
Or like
mechanical keyboard for your controller.
right. It's like if you're pulling a bow or something, like the developers can make it stronger or lighter depending on what you're doing. Or
Changing
guns
out
can
your
feel
your cherry reds for cherry browns or cherry blues on the fly. And
yeah.
it's great. I'm saying it kind of like, yeah, this is what it is. But like, no, that's a good idea. I just wish they were a little bit better on like less market buzzwords and more. This is what it is, and this is why it's cool.
Well, it's up here actually as well. This little USB-C port. I'm all for that. Everyone, USB-C, please. I just love having one cord for everything. There we go. Charging. What else did they announce? I probably forgot. There. USB-C port, motion sensor. On the motion sensor part, real quick, did they change anything? Because they have a motion sensor as well on the original PS4 controller.
The only
They
thing
just
I
make
can
it.
think they probably changed is they made it more precise. But I mean, I'm not a big fan of motion controls unless it's something specifically designed for motion, and even then, you can only go with like the Wii or the Switch. So I mean, or PS Move. The
PS Move, you know. Actually, now that you bring it up, something else people notice, there's no light bar on there. So they're
oh,
thinking that there's probably some other device they're gonna have to use for the VR since they completely removed that light right there.
do you think they did it because of the battery usage?
I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking it was less battery and more of maybe they want something better push there the VR.
Actually, it might still be in the controller because you could turn off on the PS4 the light aspect of the motion bar, because again it uses a lot of battery on your controller. But I believe the infrared system on the bar still works. So it could be possible that they put some type of sensor tracking in the controller and it's just not obvious. Or did they confirm that they have no more tracking in the controller?
If they have done that, I have seen no official
Okay.
statement of that. This is just me assuming that that's maybe what's going on because there's no light on it. And I just remember that that was the main usage of that light for that um, on the controller basically.
Yeah.
DualSense.
No limits. It's kind of funny that I've seen them do the triangle. What was the pattern in order? It's triangle something X or triangle square XO, like in the back when it's going blue. Like play the video a little bit longer.
Play the video a little bit.
Right here, yeah, triangle circle X square. Okay.
It's weird because the channel is square
Yeah,
triangle.
and I thought like most or particularly they typically represent the PS4 with the cross, the X, which is not an X, it's a cross, not a Christian cross, but like a railroad cross.
Yeah, railroad cross.
But yeah, I don't know. So it just kind of caught me off guard.
Yeah. So so time for a little bit of rant. Or actually, no. Before I do the rant, I do like this little rubberized part on the controller. That little dimple right there. I think that'll help people with grip. I think it's a nice little touch. But to get a little ranty, I don't like that color scheme. I'm gonna wait for a different controller color scheme. I'd prefer if it was all solid one color, or maybe just a different theme would get me going. That doesn't get me excited.
Yeah, I now that we saw the console, I can see their reasoning behind it. Though I don't know, maybe if they still make the trackpad black for the classic, because the PS5 is a black center flanked by two white strips, and so you could have black in the middle and then just have like the white strips for the where you hold your hands at. But that's just me again, doing the design Zane, where you don't have to conform to the constraints that society puts on you in terms of where you want to have your black and where you want to have your white. You can blend seamlessly to match your other components. Have your right arm be comparable to your left arm, even if they're not 100% symmetrical. Because the human body is not 100% symmetrical. One arm is a tad bit shorter or longer than the other. Same thing with your legs, and same things with your unmentionables. So, there you go. Little life tip, life hack, life information for you.
Something I do want to throw in there that I forgot to mention a little bit early was that I was going through some comments, and some people are saying that this design language isn't actually new. They've kind of done the whole black, white, and blue before. If you look at the PS headset, it has some of the same design elements as a controller. It's kind of just a slow transition to just add that to the rest of the peripherals and the console basically. I'm like, you know what? I didn't notice that.
Again, big props to Sony because I don't own the PS Move for the headset, but you do, and I remember coming out to visit before the apocalypse happened, and again, the most comfortable VR headset I've ever worn, and I've tried the Oculus, I've tried the HTC. Yes, Vive. Yes, thank you. I was like, what is the one? But yeah, Vive. I've tried some of the the Samsung mobile VR set, the Google Cardboard, which isn't bad, but that's a whole different, goal for what they're trying to do. So, but yeah, best headset in terms of comfort, hands down.
I have to take your word for it. I've only tried this bad boy and not the Ouya. the Oculus one. I was thinking Facebook. Facebook was one. Yeah, the Oculus one.
Yeah. Yeah, but good on them, man. I am very pleased with what we've seen from their event and their release. It's very. They came out strong. In the last podcast session we had with Andy Pyrana Baldwin, which actually went live today on Anchor, Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, etc. Episode 14. We kind of talked about this as well. But they just nailed it, and I think they've cemented that they never have to go through or go to a gaming conference ever again. They don't need E3, they don't need PAX, they don't need what other kind of conventions out there. They can just do it on their own, and I commend them for it. But they are basically kind of being like taking a stab at E3, even though I think E3 will be fine. Andy, who actually works in the gaming industry, shed some nice light on where E3 and other gaming conventions actually stand, and he's very sure that E3 will be okay. They might not do it next year because, again, they want to avoid the next big wave of COVID-19, which CES, do not have your convention next. Okay, like just put it on pause for another year. Just put it for. Do not be stupid. Okay, just do us all a favor. Wait another year. All right, just wait. It'll be okay. But E3 will be fine. E3 will be okay as well.
E3 summer, right?
Yes, because actually E3 would have went on this passing weekend, or again this weekend, if it was still going on this year. So
Okay. Yeah, I know CES is early in January. I just forget when E3 is.
Yeah, I like those headphones too, man. Them headphones look sexy.
Yeah, I wouldn't need to hear them. I think it's just for people who just want to get everything in one set and just forget about it.
Here's the thing though, people forget Sony is a tech company, and
that's true.
They have my second favorite. So my favorite pair of wireless headphones are the Sony WH-1000X M3s, right? My favorite pair of wireless headphones. They would be my favorite pair of headphones if they were like open back, right? So like right now, these headphones here are my favorite. I keep these home. I keep these put into the main system because these are open ear or open backs. They're very expensive, more expensive than these. But the sound quality is just so phenomenal. These are the Sennheiser's 58X. Yeah, HD 58X Jubilee. These are my favorite pair of headphones. These are my second favorite pair of headphones, but my number one favorite wireless. And Sony has great sound quality for their headphones ever since back in the day for the Walkman. So even though those headphones might be like more, average for your average everyday consumer, I'm pretty sure because basically to save money, they don't put the most advanced drivers in it. But I'm still banking that they're gonna be nice. I'm positive.
That was a good point because I see them and I think PlayStation headset, but like what? No, this is Sony headset, and I forget that. Yeah, you're right. Sony does have pretty good audio, and they might not be that bad. So what? It might be not a bad buy if you find that in a bundle.
Wasn't Sony also working in the movie industry recently?
I think Sony's been in movies for a while. I think Sony Studios, Sony Movies. I know I've seen their name up on the big screen before. Sony Movies. They definitely have some Sony movies. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. They have Sony Pictures. That's what it is. Yeah, so they have their own. They did
Peter Rabbit. They did Peter Rabbit.
Pizza Rabbit.
Oh, Bad Boys for Life. I love that. Oh, that was a great third entry to Bad Boys.
So they know their AV stuff, I assume.
Okay.
Since they're everywhere here. Oh, Angry Birds. Didn't know that.
I know that.
But yeah, they've done quite it might be.
I have not watched the latest MIB International, and I probably just won't for a long time. I have nothing against that movie. I don't have anything against the franchise. It just does not seem like a good movie. I don't care that they went in a complete different direction, new cast, all that. I don't care about that. The actors look like great actors, like great people for a role in MIB. Just from what I saw in the trailers, it just didn't look good.
Yeah, I think the way they drifted the story wasn't. I kind of like the original way the other ones are laid out.
Yeah. Which, by the way, have you seen the third MIB?
Third MIB.
The one with the time traveling paradoxes and whatnot?
No, actually, I don't think I have. I have it actually, but I've never seen it.
Dude, I reckon it's so MIB 1 is like fantastic. MIB 2 is okay. Is average, maybe slightly above average for its time. And then MIB 3 is, if not better, just as good, in my opinion, as MIB 1, mainly because they tie everything together into a conclusive narrative for the Agent K and Agent J storyline. It is, and I mean, like, literally to a T. It's great.
Got everything together.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Oh, you know what? No, I haven't seen this one. No, I only own the first and the second one. So yeah, actually, I don't.
Highly
I'll
recommend
have
it.
to add to my list.
Man, we are shooting hard for Sony. Sony, give us money. Like we're doing this for free for you. Though, I mean, we did knock them a peg for security.
That's true. I mean, I think they just came out strong with this release. I dig the fact that they actually threw in some actual Sony branded charges this time, because most of the time you're just left on your own. Like, sorry, man, just find someone else. Now they actually have some first party doc, and I don't know what this thing is.
Which thing? Oh, that's the HD camera.
Oh, right. It's in the little C type clamp. Okay, yeah. I can see it now.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, maybe you could probably get this on the bundle. Go ahead.
This is also really funny to me. So you remember when the Xbox One came out, they tried to be like your entertainment station as a whole. So for cable, for TV, for movies, for games, for music, all that jazz. And people hated that approach, right? People were like, no, we want gaming first, gaming. But if you look back at the picture that you had previously, I'm not gonna like say, or go back to it, but they have the remote, because people still do use a PS4 for like watching Blu-rays, watching anime for like your streaming apps like HBO Max, Hulu, Crunchyroll. So they included like the potential to get a remote, a TV remote, like a media remote in your console. It's funny when PS4 was like we're mainline for gaming, just straight gaming, and I was like, yeah, we're still straight gaming, but here's a remote because we know you also like your entertainment media. Because I give Xbox One, the original release, a lot of praise for trying to be more than just a gaming system. Because you paid the amount for a gaming system, you got good console gaming. It wasn't like anything supernatural, but it was flawless in terms of what it was. And you could also hook your cable up through your Xbox and then use like Xbox, turn on channel 5. I don't know, man. Microsoft got the short end of the stick in their Xbox One release, but I give them props.
I'm trying to recover to see if I could, but like, no, you know what, Zane? They have this, but yeah, look at their page. They're going just hard on the tech. We have the better tech. And you know what? As if I just want to get something for like, my grandson or something, or my granddaughter or what have you. I don't have a grandson or granddaughter, just kind of playing the role of like, grandparent.
Like, whoa, man,
I don't care about
Toby
all
grew
this.
fast.
I just want to know like why I should choose this over the PS5. It's the one I want to gift it to. Like, all that doesn't mean anything to me. Okay, which one has better games? What can this person do with it? This tech stuff doesn't do anything for me unless I'm a tech person.
Actually, can you scroll back up for a little bit? Go up up a little further. More. Oh yeah, I can't wait. Up a little more. Up a little more. Sorry, further than I expected. Again, more. Right here. Yes.
Okay.
I am super ecstatic to see the return of essentially memory cards.
You know what? You don't really have that nowadays. You kind of just gotta, sorry, you need to pull out your hard drive, need to know a little bit about hard drive recovery, clone it over, expand the partition, all that fun stuff. And some guy who's just, 16, has enough money to buy a bigger storage space.
Yeah.
He's going to type some blog, what am I doing,
So this is where I give, again, Microsoft major props on, because while they are still lacking in comparison to, they're not lacking, but only lacking in comparison to Nintendo and Sony for like first party exclusives, they are hitting really hard with this tech. And like, this is something that I value, because I'm not a major console player, but I have been in a situation with PS3 and PS4 where like, oh, I have to delete an entire game and my save data to make room for a new game. And that's annoying. And you can get like an external hard drive to plug in, and like you said, Lewis, you have to reformat the drive into the NSTF format, and then it does something that makes it very proprietary to the console for like Sony, so you can't plug it into a computer and move files around, and etc. So, but to get past all of that nonsense, Microsoft has designed a storage memory card. Essentially, they call it like a special SSD, but it's a memory card that will be pluggable from the back, and it's proprietary, sure, but because they designed the hardware to make use of the infrastructure of the actual console for fast transferring and quick loading for your games. And I'm all here for it, because now you have an excuse to be like, oh, okay, I can just like plug and play, out and in, different games, different storage, different saves, on the go. And that was what Sony had. No other console had memory cards to my knowledge. Oh no, actually the Dreamcast had memory cards. They had a cool memory card actually. You could play little games on your memory card. I missed that.
Nintendo had memory packs. I don't know if you remember that. Like you slap on the controller.
Oh yeah, on N64.
Yeah. So I won't do that. To add to your point, I'm like, yeah, it's proprietary. Who knows how much these things are going to cost when the Xbox Series X consoles come out? But gone are the days when the console will spit back at you. Sorry, this isn't big enough. Or sorry, this flash drive isn't fast enough for us to play your games on. Because if you just get like a USB 2.0 drive, it's gonna be like, nope, sorry, it needs to be USB 3.0 is what the Xbox 360 has. But if you just sell something all bundled up, buy it, throw it in, forget about it.
Yeah.
It's easy for people to just kind of forget about all the tech underlying. Just play my game, man. I don't care about anything else.
It's going to be a good generation for gaming. It is, no matter how you look at it.
Exciting.
Yeah. Also, to give Xbox some more clout, to give them some more praise. I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently, Microsoft's gaming cloud platform, like their competitor to the Google Stadia, is apparently really good, like really, really good, and it is only second to NVIDIA's GeForce cloud gaming, and GeForce has been in the market for cloud gaming for a while. Well, they started off with like your local access network, streaming on a, what do they call the NVIDIA Shield. The original Shield was a portable like gamepad, and you would stream your PC's gameplay to your Shield, and they basically took that same type of practice to step into the world of playing a game via their servers through the cloud, and it has great performance. And so apparently Stadia is just bombing. Stadia is on fire, and Google has no one to blame but themselves for releasing it too early and treating it like a finished product. Because again, I guarantee you, if it was hey, this is alpha or this is beta, and we're not going to charge you, or if you maybe even charge you a little bit instead of the value that they had for it, people wouldn't mind as much. But they came out swinging saying this is a completed product, and it's not. It's just not. And so now they're suffering. And so power to Microsoft and NVIDIA for doing game or cloud gaming better.
I think actually, to add to your point, I think they'll surpass NVIDIA for sure. The Azure cloud, man. They're gonna flex that like crazy.
Dude, I actually like Azure a lot more than I expected to. And granted, in my day job, I'm not working with it as much as I was prior due to circumstances with the company that I work at. I'm not fired. It's nothing negative. It's just reshifting of things. So I don't want like weird drama to potentially be like, oh. No, I'm just not working in the Azure environment as much anymore. But when I was, I like, they had some weird oddities to it. I mean, yeah, I think we're getting onto like a more developer aspect conversation, but it's nice.
Yeah,
it's Microsoft. It's nice. Keep going. Do not pull a Microsoft and take 3 steps forward and 20 steps back. This is the one thing where you're actually doing good as you're progressing with no back steps. So keep at it ever so slowly and steadily, keep going.
Messed up here on this flow layout. Look at that, Zane. See that? On the smaller screen, that floats up. Didn't test that properly. Bad Sony.
Well, man, they're a technology conglomerate. They can't. Well, yeah, they can. They can invest more in their web development.
I mean, it's only at a certain size. I mean, I get it. It's hard to make it look perfect on all sizes.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's not to thrash the actual product, just their web designers a bit. But yeah, to tie it back a little bit to the media center thing, I didn't see any mention of any controller or anything about TV on here on the new Xbox.
Yeah, because like people have hounded them so heavily to like elf your entertainment station. We want just gaming. So then they're like, okay, you want gaming? We heard you. Here's just gaming. And of course they're gonna have like Netflix and Crunchyroll, but like no super more advanced entertainment station like thing. And you know, again, that's okay. The Xbox One's initial release did pose some worry in the realm of your security and your privacy via the Xbox what they call the sensor Connect. And what they were doing with it, how they moved that to the Microsoft HoloLens. But just in general, they had a lot of like, what are you doing with the data that you're collecting when we aren't aware? So I guess no more worries about that via cameras. But I mean, Sony has this new HD camera, but y'all not worried about that. But you know, whatever.
Microsoft bad, Sony good.
Right.
Something else I want to throw in there is like, man, these consoles look amazing.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my PC. I'm like, man, I'm a little nervous. Can I see PC Master Race now? Because now AMD is like creating custom chips for storage access to make it optimized for gaming for these things. Like, man, custom hardware. They're basically FPGAs now, man. Like that's gonna be any general purpose CPU. Getting a little nervous here. Like, man,
No, yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah, I'm in a few groups online, and I saw a discussion where someone was kind of, and it's all in good fun and good jest, but they're posting memes where it's like the PC group when they're happy that their $3,000 PC performs better than a $400 console. Ooh, yay, big shocker. And I was like, okay, yeah. You have some people like that, but generally speaking, most people who have a $3,000 PC also have some type of console in the modern era, right? The modern generation. I will say where the PC gamer community really thrives in terms of comparison to consoles is when you can go, can I build a compact PC in the same range of a console and perform just as good, if not better? That's where you get like a lot of the competitive mindset of like, oh, you know, I can get a NVIDIA GTX 1070 or a 2070 Super and a AMD Ryzen chip from last year and save money and have a $400 bill with a micro ITX or mini ITX, and it's the same form factor as a console but a tad bit stronger. Got you. Ooh. Yeah. What was I talking about again?
Talking about like they might outperform like most I would say mid-range PCs on game performance.
Yeah.
Like I think you're going to get what's what I'm looking for. You're gonna have to start inspecting your system a bit more, CPU wise and storage wise. Look for more bottlenecks because these guys are kind of pinning down those things with those special chips that they're creating for these things.
And that's what's really important to remind like consumers and enthusiasts is that your PC is not just a gaming machine. People who build the components for your PC build it in mind for, you know, gaming, working, workstations, editing, documentation, streaming, all of that stuff, right? The consoles are built with a very specific, narrow mindset in consideration. So they'll probably have better optimization for certain things. Now, where that falls at is typically, unless it's a first-party game, it's not going to be taking advantage of the full-on hardware of that system, because a developer like
Bethesda.
who?
Bethesda.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They make
yeah.
yeah.
Actually, perfect example, because they're buggy as hell, but I still love them. For now, if they don't change their ways, they're gonna lose a fan. But Bethesda, they make games for literally almost every platform, your cell phone included. So when they release The Elder Scrolls 6 for PS5, Xbox Series X, and PC, they have to make it run just as well across all those systems, right? Whereas Sony's first party making a God of War Egypt or whatever the next game is going to be, they're only focusing on that one console, maybe two, like PS4, if they want to also have a version for the previous generation. But yeah, they can make far more use of that dedicated hardware. Or Microsoft with the next Halo game, they're going to be specifically focusing on Xbox and PC, but mainly Xbox, and it's going to be built specifically to take advantage of the optimization features of the hardware for Xbox Series X. If not a first party, it's not going to be that special in terms of your hardware is the bee's knees.
Right. And then there's the fact that the game engines all these run, they have to be, tuned for each certain console, crunch the bugs out. But before you get to any performance tweaks, you probably want to crunch the bugs out, right? Make sure it just works generally across the board, and then go in and try to optimize it. And there's PCs, how do you optimize for PC? There's so many ranges in software or hardware they could have. So it's going to be interesting when this thing's come out. But again, this is all speculation from my end, because I don't have my hands on any of these. So I don't know how it would compare to, I guess a mid-range game PC, low end or high end.
I agree. But it's just what users and consumers have to keep in mind, and with that, I guess that mindset in hand, just if you're curious as to whether or not you want to buy the next generation of consoles, or if you want to build a PC, or if you want it all and you know what order to do what in, well, those are the facts. Make your decision, and hopefully you'll be happy with whatever you go with. I do not think in the next generation you're going to have any problems with whatever you pick up. I legitimately don't. I think you're going to be crystal clear no matter what. It just kind of depends on what games you want to play. If you are a bigger fan of the first party exclusives of Sony versus like Halo on Xbox, there you go. Now, I will say, and again, this is like giving Microsoft credit and also acknowledging that they're potentially hurting themselves, which is also, again, giving them credit for making these decisions. For me personally, I do want a PS5. And I do want to play some of the Xbox exclusives. But Microsoft has made it far more compelling with their system to allow Xbox games to also be played on PC. So Halo is coming to PC. So I don't need to buy a Xbox because I have a decently built PC. So I just need to buy a PS5 and call it a day, because my PC can handle whatever Microsoft throws at it for right now. So Microsoft, I commend you. Hopefully you get more games and more personal first-party libraries. But who knows? Maybe I'll buy a Xbox Series X just to support you, even though I still pay a lot of money every time I build a new PC for your almost four. I didn't. I almost swore. For your friggin' OS license.
Yeah. Well, to get off track a little bit, I think maybe in the future they'll just kind of give it away for home users to just kind of keep it a paid thing for enterprises. That's what I think it's maybe gonna go towards after everyone's kind of more on Windows 10. I was gonna say Windows X, but it's sort of the same. iPhone X, Windows X.
I am okay. They probably didn't do Windows X because of iOS's iPhone X or something. I don't know, but it makes so much sense to have it Windows X. Oh no, actually no, they do have Windows X is their new mobile flexible OS, isn't it? Like for the upcoming Microsoft Andromeda project, which they're calling
No,
Neo.
they came back into mobile.
No, the Microsoft Surface Duo and Neo. Is it called
Stuff
Surface?
doesn't get back into
Or
mobile,
Neo
are they?
Duo? This thing.
Neo Duo.
Yeah. Because I think they also released the new Surface Pro X or the Surface Go X or some type of weird, slim, ARM-based Windows tablet. And it's called, it runs, I think, Windows X.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear about the Neo.
You
I'll
didn't?
have to look.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
They got two devices coming out eventually. I don't know like when they plan on doing it, but there's the Microsoft Surface Neo, and I think the other one's called the Duo. So one of them is like an Android-based phone tablet that folds, but it has a Microsoft skin on it, a Microsoft launcher. Then you have the actual bigger device, same form factor, same design, just a little bit bigger, but it runs Windows X, which is a foldable friendly design of Windows 10, but for ARM, I think. And it looks cool, but it looks weird, and it's not gonna sell boatloads, but it's gonna be a cool, interesting direction to see Microsoft takes for some of their future devices.
I will definitely have to look into this thing more. This is actually the first time I hear about it. I have no opinion on that right now. Interesting. Also, holiday 2020.
Oh yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, actually, I think I already went over that. I was gonna say price. I did say price about. But I guess I wanted to ask you. I think we had this conversation earlier, but what do you think each one is gonna end up costing? PlayStation 5 and or Xbox. I estimate, I think, was it $600, $700?
Mm-hmm. And I'm in the same boat. I'm absolutely like, I think the Xbox might edge out a little pricier, depending on like they. So the Series X is, I believe, confirmed to be not a console itself, but a series of consoles where you can buy different specs. But I would assume that the top of the line PS5 versus the top of the line Xbox Series X, the Xbox might cost a little bit more, and I think it's because of the technology they put into it for the memory card SSD storage platforms and some of their specific design hardware for performance. And I think PS5 is going to take the approach of going, we're going to try to lowball Xbox on price to make us look a little bit more consumer friendly, more consumer minded. But I am stressed to remind users, gamers, and product buyers. Research and development is a very expensive thing for companies. New technologies are a very expensive development for companies. It is not always the fact that they're trying to mark up a price value to gouge you. And I honestly think, especially in the gaming industry, that they have been far more appealing and conforming to get things within a particular price to help out consumers of the gaming market. So I honestly do not think they're going to be trying to bleed you dry for the sake of bleeding you dry. I legitimately think they need to go, we spent a lot of money, we need to make it a income or a net gain from our development, our research, etc. Here's what we have. Because I honestly believe, and again, this might be a little bit controversial, the current generation of games right now should be priced more than $60. They should be. They really should. Not the DLC, not the microtransactions. Matter of fact, I think microtransactions are kind of a result of them not being able to charge what they should have charged for some of the games they make. And at some point, it's gonna catch up, and they're gonna go. We need to charge you this much, and people are gonna get mad. And it's they're gonna push the gaming industry to fold and lower their prices, and again, like increase some type of microtransaction similarities, or they're going to go, okay, we get it, we understand. We'll pay the extra 100 or whatever for the console and the extra whatever for the games. But it's gonna happen, man. You can't improve technology and expect it to stay at the same price, especially with as much economic chaos that we're in now.
That's the other thing I forgot to consider. I was like, man, are they actually going to be out holiday 2020? But I guess we'll see. Maybe that's why they're waiting on price. That could be another reason. Just trying to be on their side, you know. But yeah, man, I totally agree. Like R&D, man, like each one of these consoles has like tailor-made specific chips for like storage. Like you gotta that ain't cheap, man.
Not at all, man.
All that tweaking, all that just.
But you make me think about this.
But,
what is Black Friday gonna be like?
I have no idea, man. That's gonna be an interesting Black Friday. I have a feeling that so many sites are gonna be down.
Yeah.
Just because so many people are just gonna want to avoid going in, you know. Because that's the one day that everyone knows it's gonna be so many people just cramped everywhere. I have a feeling sites are gonna be down.
Yeah.
Just
and
when you wake up in the morning.
And look, as a matter of fact, I'm going to try to cut this part out when I edit for the other site releases. If you are Walmart, if you are Target, if you are Best Buy, if you are a consumer corporation seller store, here's my advice. Here's my pitch for a free idea for you to take. Right now, starting this month, start investing in more servers, more HA, high availability, for your websites, for your ordering platforms, etc. right now. Beef them up right now. And 2 to 3 months before Black Friday, make it clear, and you need to do this. Do not have any store, any physical store, open to the public for Black Friday. No physical locations. Say you have to order it online. They will ship it to you, etc. You can have your warehouse employees come in to do the shipping, the transactions, the pulling, etc. Do not let anybody into a store physically this holiday season for Black Friday. Take the time now to invest in your servers, do your high availability, do your investment for testing and staging now. Do it now. Do it now, and have it set up. Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I think they might be able to make more income by doing just a digital order release than having them come physically in store. I think they have a potential to see more income that way, because you spend less with having less employees on the floor, having to prepare less for the early crowd of maniacs. No offense to people who go out on Black Friday, you're maniacs. Myself included. I went in for one of those special edition SD Mario things, but I digress. They could see some real benefits to doing that, and whether or not that sticks and becomes the norm, where you have no more physical Black Friday retail things going on, and you can save everyone some headaches, some physical relief. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like a good idea all around. I like this. No, do this now. Walmart, Target, Best Buy, etc. There you go, a free idea. And if you want to pay for that, sponsor us. There you go.
I just gotta watch out for the porch pirates. Make sure it gets through that last mile. Yeah, no, that'll be interesting. As this date gets closer for these guys. Interesting.
Oh man, should we buy stock in Sony now? And Amazon and FedEx and UPS?
Amazon might be a good one. Those AWS clusters, man.
Yeah. And I don't think we'll ever get sponsored by Amazon, because like last episode I compared them to being like totalitarian slave force. So I don't know. Have you ever played the game Oddworld?
You did mention it, but no, I never played it.
Yeah.
It was one of the new ones, right? That was released, Oddworld
Yes,
2 or something.
they're doing a sequel for a long, hard, and like man, it's my childhood. I love the original Oddworld. They got a little weird with I think the third Oddworld game, which was set in the same universe but did a different protagonist. It was a first person shooter type of thing called Oddworld Hunter or Mercenary, something like that. I forget what. But Oddworld takes place in terms of like it's a social commentary on capitalist venture where like the lords of this world are CEOs and they own like these factories and they enslave this workforce to work in said factories. And when I was on the podcast with Andy, I said if you need to think how to describe it, just imagine an Amazon warehouse. And I stand by that statement. I really do. So we're probably never getting sponsored by Amazon, and we're probably going to lose our affiliates program.
We have affiliates with them?
We do have an affiliates program. It's not well utilized because like I haven't done product reviews in like months. So
Okay. Good to know. Well, 10 years from now when this is pulled back out, I'll know why. Um, yeah, this'll be interesting, exciting year for consoles though for sure. Lots of different ways the delivery could be implemented, and just the hardware in general, just the emphasis and the closeness to PCs and all the new tech, SSDs. That's my favorite part of all these things. Just load times.
right,
That'd be great,
man.
man.
People don't to look. Competition is of course a great thing when utilized correctly, and I always promote people going like hey find your camp, stick with it, but don't get too violent or idiotic with it, right? Don't become a zealot basically. But with that in mind, understand that when you have companies competing in terms of technological advancement or trying something new, we the consumer always benefits. Same thing when it comes to consoles and PCs and versus other consoles and platforms. So the Switch came out, and now you got Alienware doing the prototyping of the UFO, which is a Switch-like PC that can take the controls off. That's cool. That's cool. Alienware, if you plan on not doing it, let me know. I will buy a prototype right now. Like right meow. Okay. But we always benefit from that technological gaining. What was that?
I was gonna say I forget that Alienware is a subsidiary of Dell. I totally forget that. 'Cause
Me
Dell's very
too.
corporate-y, and then Alienware, it's super like black and white. I totally forget that.
Like so in my day job, we get a lot of like Dells and HPs. So like typically your workstation is gonna be one or the other. I am actually proud that I have a Dell over an HP. Nothing against HP. They make great laptops, especially like great netbooks. Actually, the light laptops. But for a workstation, man, I gotta go with Adele. Not Adele, a Dell. Compare it to both of them, man, and like the fact that Alienware is a subsidy, it makes me happy. I think maybe.
I was no, actually that was a little bit more off topic. I was gonna say I wanted to close out by talking about all the memes that the PS5's been getting. A lot of people have been comparing it to it looking like a modem. And the other day I was looking for what is it, my Aris Surfboard brand, my modem. And then I see this picture, I think like, oh, that totally almost threw me off. I thought
Are you gonna share your
this was a
screen?
yes.
Yeah.
I just pulled up the photo. Yeah, I was just scrolling up and then I see this guy.
Wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, that thing. But I'm on a mobile device when I do that, and I see this thing like, yeah, the whole sandwich thing has been done a lot with modems. That's just what it is, man. Looks like modems got on that train before Sony did, unfortunately. I've seen people also, let me pull it up side by side. Yeah, I've seen people also compare it to, I threw some in chat as well the other day. Well, actually, I threw a lot in chat the other day.
Yeah, you had us dying, man. Like, oh my god. Matter of fact, we were trying to go through. So this episode that released, episode 14 with Andy, is actually like almost 2 hours long because an hour into it, we went over his main topic, which was it'll be a separate release as well. But it's the thesis behind the idea of the social contract that we as gamers make with our products, and even more than games, like movies as well. Whereas, like, if you, I highly, it'll be available as a separate thing. I highly recommend you check it out if you get time. But so while we were doing that really serious, in-depth psychological aspect of consumers diving into a game, you're just posting meme after meme after meme.
Yeah.
It was glorious.
Some people think it looks like their desk, or I guess it's not a desk fan, like one of their fans.
Standing
Some people
fans.
think, yeah. Some people looks like think it looks like a bro or something with like their popped collars, whatever.
Oh, I forgot to send you the one that has cool from Samurai Jack in it. Oh my god. It's on my phone, so I gotta.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Sure, that one. And then some people comparing it to a building. I think, actually, I'm not sure where that is. I think it's Sydney, but I know that's not quite the theater, or is it? Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I think that's Sydney. And then this is actually my favorite, just because it fits the color scheme. The Linksys router, because Linksys just already has that blue color brand. Oh, you shared it?
Yeah, I'm sharing a lot actually. Some of those I think
Oh
you
my
shared
God.
with me already, but like still.
Oh my God. Just look like a. I gotta pull that up on the thing. Um. Yeah. So people spared nothing to make fun of Sony. Oh, this one's pretty.
It's not the making fun of isn't even a bad making fun of though. It's good meme. It's like positive memeage. You know,
Yeah.
it's weird.
I was telling Todd, like, maybe this is like the Xbox people getting back into Sony. It could be that too, because of all the trash can memes or whatever, or it's just like a box kind of thing for the Xbox. This is one of the ones I found for the Xbox. Because it's just square. The meme abilities are endless with that one as well.
I
Just
think
a square.
Microsoft set themselves up by having a boxy version of the Mac Pro trash can.
Yeah, that's what my wife was saying as well. That looks like the Mac trash can as well.
Yeah.
And then paper towels attached to the router.
It's great, man. Oh yeah, we are also approaching like an hour and 40 minutes. Should we start wrapping this up, or you got like more you want to dive into, or?
That's all I got. I think I blurted out everything I got. You got anything?
Nah, man. I think that's it. I will say, like, I'm interested to see what type of reaction people have to this type of this setup, the format that we did for this special. Also, Lewis, if you also enjoyed doing this, I don't know if you want to make this a regular thing, or maybe just keep it for special events. I'm not sure. Since we are moving this to be a 2-session per month, one with myself and you, and myself and Andy, there'll be 2 releases per month. I think we could do it as a regular thing, but I mean, I'll leave it up to you because again, we did have a lot of weird technical issues in the beginning. But I think this is manageable, especially for quarantine content. We'll see. Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Could do it for just your specials, but yeah, definitely dig it. It's fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because technically, I can't really edit this the same way that I edit most of the podcast episodes with, because a lot of the music is live and etc. But it is what it is. We will see you all in the next podcast release. Do not forget, today you're getting a double. That means episode 14 of season 1 released this afternoon. And then you got the live stream event today. which will have the official podcast release on Spotify, Anchor, etc. sometime next week, most likely Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. If you missed this or you want to do just audio only, it'll be really weird because a lot of this is visual. Like a lot of this is visual. Yeah, how does... I didn't think about how this would play back on audio only. It's going to be weird. I digress though, folks. We will catch you in the next episode. But until then, as always, you can contact us at EOZ After Dark on Twitter or email us at afterdark@essencesin.org. We'll have more updates and things coming soon with the website's redesign and etc. I'm going on vacation this week, actually, which means I'll get more personal stuff around EOZ jumped up ahead of time during that time span. So yeah, just stay tuned to more stuff from us, our Facebook page, our Twitter page, our Discord, which you could find through our YouTube page, as well as our Twitter page for @EssenceIsIn or @EOZ After Dark. That being said, guys, it's been a pleasure being back on camera, seeing you guys, so you all can see the Mexican with the K and his glorious mustache and beard. You know, I like to think if we were in a fantasy world, he'd be the rogue with a fencing sword, you know? I have no idea what the hell I'd be. A paladin, barbarian. I don't know, actually. A knight? What class would I... Oh, a bard. Oh yeah, you know what? That's not bad. I would not mind being a charismatic bard who can seduce a dragon, god dang it. I want to be like Donkey from Shrek. Let me seduce that dragon.
I guess he would be a bard, wouldn't he? In that world.
Instead of a lute, I'd have a sax, you know? If you ever do D&D, that's what we will do live. A D&D run of Louis the Rogue and Zane the Bard. So, but yeah, guys, we'll see you next time. I don't have an outro scene for OBS on the podcast. So, I guess I'll just leave it with PlayStation exclusive. There you go. Love your faces, guys. Bye.